still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Through the blood, sweat, and tears, struggles through the years, had fears, but I persevered. It's clear I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here.
We have this illegal problem. We have 21 million illegals in 4 years under the Biden-Harris administration. That is Cloward Piven. That was intentional. Cloward Piven is an intentional overloading of the system in order to undermine and collapse the system so that those people on the left, those Luciferians, those Marxists, etc., can usher in their new Luciferian dystopian agenda by saying, look, we told you that capitalism didn't work. We told you that Americanism didn't work. And here's the proof. The system is collapsing. But what they don't tell you is that the system is collapsing because of inorganic activity, not because of organic activity. You see, while the American system, the American economic system, et cetera, or even if we're talking about the American social system, it can be destroyed. But it has to be destroyed because someone or some things or entities or political groups or people are trying to undermine it and destroy it intentionally. And the only reason why they are doing that is because they have something new that they want to usher in. And what they have that they want to usher in is dystopian, disturbing, destructive, etc. Because these people's hearts are Luciferian hearts. That's why they openly promote the murdering of innocent and defenseless babies and call it healthcare. When somebody can openly promote murder and out of the same mouth, in the same sentence, call it healthcare, that is evil beyond your wildest imagination. You can't even fathom, and you haven't fathomed exactly who you're dealing with here. And I can prove it because you all have begun to go along with this whole concept of abortion in America. All of you Americans that agree that women should have access to abortion have only proven one thing. You've proven to me and to the rest of us that you've been duped by these evil hearts and minds that have told you that murder is healthcare. In particular, and this is key. I say this a lot, but I feel like so many of you miss this. And what you're missing is that these babies are innocent and simultaneously defenseless. If you were riding down the street and you saw this innocent old lady walking on a cane, this defenseless old lady walking on a cane, and some young man jumped out and began to beat her down, you would instantly run to her aid because you would instantly identify that she is innocent and defenseless. And you would feel compelled to stop this attack immediately, but you don't feel compelled to stop the attack on the innocent and defenseless babies in this nation. And I called it, I knew once my side, the cowards and the fake ass constitutional experts on my side, I knew that once you all began to blabber about, oh, this is a states' rights issue as it relates to abortion, I knew it was over. There's only one direction to go as it relates to abortion, and that is an all-out ban. Except for in a situation where it will save the mother's life due to a physical condition of something of that nature. Listen, hear me clearly. The Constitution makes it abundantly clear that abortion is murder. And I recently listened to Mark Levin, who is a constitutional expert, rant and rave about the fact the Constitution does not allow citizenship when someone illegally comes to America or someone just happens to be visiting America and they give birth. Now, if he can rant and rave about that fact, why can't he rant and rave about the fact that the Constitution, under no circumstances, allows for an abortion, and the Constitution actually makes it quite clear that abortion is murder? So what he is doing is he is conveniently ignoring that fact, because that's a battle that he doesn't want to fight, because that is a difficult battle at this point. So he's choosing his battles. But we can't have that type of discrepancy. We can't say, I'm going to choose this battle and not that battle in particular, when you realize the fact that that battle called abortion, that battle called saving these babies, is key to MAGA, to making America great again. And America can never be great again as long as we indiscriminately murder our innocent and defenseless babies. And all of you so-called conservatives and Republicans and Christians want to sit over here and just conveniently ignore it. And some of you even have the audacity to identify as Republican, conservative, and Christian and go right along with it. I told you this is going to be a difficult conversation. Then you take a gentleman like Mark Levin. What is he going to do if he hears this? Will his pride cause him to want to rant and rave and argue against me? Or will the God in him allow him to acknowledge the fallacy in him ignoring these innocent and defenseless lives, and the fact that he has been able to write this thing off as a states' rights issue because it was politically expedient and advantageous to these so-called pundits on the right that don't want to deal with this, that don't want to address that because they deem it to be too unpopular and they deem it to be too much of a threat to their careers. You can't stand around and see that these babies need protection, absolute protection, and think that you can just conveniently ignore that and just move on. That thing will come back to bite you in your ass. And it is currently biting us in our ass. And that is why our country has declined to the degree that it has declined. Not because of debt. Not because of irresponsible spending. Yeah, those things are horrible. Yeah, those things are detrimental as well. But the true detriment is ignoring these babies. Is ignoring this thug sodomite culture that is attempting and has been very successful at eroding and destroying America, our values and our principles. And so we just want to go along to get along because these people are so adamant about butt sex. Let's break it down to its very last compound. Let's talk about what it really is in its most basic format. It's getting uncomfortable. It's getting hot in here. Because we're not talking about LGBTQ at the end of the day. We're not talking about homosexuality at the end of the day. At the end of the day, this fight is over butt sex. Butt sex. That's all they're really fighting for. They're really out here fighting to force you to accept butt sex. Let's talk about what it really is. This isn't funny. And you all want to hand over the republic. You all want to allow something to eventually destroy this constitution and this republic. And what you all are going to allow to do this is primarily two major things. Sodomite activity, i.e. butt sex, and abortion. You know, I'm just keeping it simple. I have to make it simple. I have to put it in layman's terms so that we can really understand what's going on here, and so that it can possibly trigger something in people's minds and say, wait a minute, he's absolutely right. The open borders. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. If I were to ask you right now, why are the borders open? Why did Biden and Harris open the borders? I would love to be able to know why you believe that to be true. And please, listen. We're going to make everything so simple for everybody to understand here today. The borders were open, as I previously stated, in order to create so much chaos, so much pressure, that hopefully, according to them, the system, I'm talking about the left, I'm talking about liberals, Marxists, progressives, the American Marxists, however, Luciferians, more so than anything, that would be the best way to describe them. They want to intentionally collapse the system so that they can usher in their new Luciferian dystopian agenda. Pause. In addition to that, when you open the borders, in addition to the 21 million people coming in, creating absolute social and economic chaos, remember, these people are criminally and medically unvetted. They look at all the drugs that flow over simultaneously. Look at all the fentanyl that flows over simultaneously. And look at all the human and sex trafficking and child exploitation that is happening simultaneously with the 21 million people coming across this wide open border. All of those things are meant to be one wrecking ball, destroying the American culture, the American society, and the American economic system, and the American values. All of those things are working in conjunction, and this is by design. It's no accident that, listen, if you happen to believe that Kamala Harris and Joseph Robinette Biden, the president, the vice president, are Americans, and if you happen to believe that they really care about America and America's future, which they do not, and this proves it, you can't look me in my eyes, you can't look me in my face and argue that these people care about America when they have unleashed this wrecking ball, this Cloward Piven wrecking ball on their country. They are attempting to do what Obama first spoke about, which was the fundamental transformation of America. And what you see in the 21 million illegals, in the fentanyl, in the drugs, in the human and the sex trafficking and the child pedophilia that is a result of the 21 million people and the borders being wide open. What you are seeing is a wrecking ball being dropped on America. You do not drop a wrecking ball on a building unless your intention for that building, your intent for that building is to destroy it, to level it, to bring it down. That's the reason why they talk about a fundamental transformation. And all of you wise-ass black people out here that love to run out and vote for this Democrat Party machine that has been doing this for ages, this wrecking ball has really been unleashed and released on your culture, on your society. And you see it in the urban cores of America, in Chicago and New York, and we see it here in Cincinnati. We see it everywhere. All of these illegals popping up literally everywhere, invading our school systems, complicating the education of your children, invading our communities, complicating the stability of our communities, complicating employment, because they are now competing with you for limited jobs, limited resources. And you're not alarmed? Listen, you black people, I know you very well. I've listened to you my whole life. In the barbershops and the beauty salons and on the street corners, you love to pontificate about these things that you are claiming are being done against you in order to undermine you and destroy you. And here they are undermining and destroying you with this whole illegal invasion and everything that comes along with it. But you can't see it. That's because you conveniently put your blinders on. You can't see this? Oh, you can see it. You just refuse to acknowledge it because you know that your mama, your daddy, your grandma, and your grandpa, and all your friends and family would ostracize you if you acknowledge this and begin to speak out about it. We must maintain our autonomous borders. We must build a big wall. A wall is a deterrent, but they try and laugh at Trump. They try and laugh at people like me to say, we need to build a big wall. Now, let me tell you something. They can't build enough tunnels to get those people beneath the wall. Because I hear you stupid comedians talk about, oh, Trump is so dumb. He wants to build a wall. Don't he know that these people are great at building tunnels? No, they're not great at building tunnels. And there's not this exhaustive amount of tunnels going under the border. You build the wall and you drop it deep into the ground and you make it high above the ground. Simultaneously, you deploy more men to the border, not just border agents, but military soldiers. And the local counties and municipalities along the border deploy more of their assets to the border. And the governors deploy more of their state assets to the border. Simultaneously, the federal government deploys more drones and technology and sensors and things of that nature. Simultaneously, Trump has to re-implement and restore the Remain in Mexico policy. But even more importantly than that, he has to come out and just flat out say that America is closed. America is closed. I'm not talking about isolationism. I'm talking about preservation. Because the evidence is clear that this open border policy and this whole idea about diversity is destructive to America. Yes, diversity is destructive. Diversity has been destructive to America. Diversity is not good. You people, who told you that diversity was a good thing? Oh, I know I've blown your mind. Listen, I'm not a champion for diversity. I'm not in favor of this whole concept of diversity and, oh, let's bring these people in from everywhere because it'll be good because it creates diversity. How have you drawn the conclusion that diversity is just inherently a good thing? Because when we look around the globe and we see these countries that have all of this diversity, they have an abundance of inner chaos. You see, let me tell you what's happening in the name of diversity. You're allowing in all these people that are criminally and medically unvetted. You're allowing in all these people that still want to maintain their allegiance to where they came from. They do not want to assimilate. You see them around your city, my city, flying the flags of the country that they ran from. Likewise, in the name of diversity, ladies and gentlemen, these people are bringing with them their inferior culture and their inferior ways and their inferior thought processes. I said it. You don't want to say it because you're cowards. And the ones that aren't cowards, you don't want to say it because you've been convinced that the opposite is true. By these liberal, leftist, Luciferian professors that don't know shit, ain't done nothing, ain't seen nothing, haven't experienced nothing, period, in the story. And just because it came out of some professor's mouth that diversity is great, allowing in people from other nations, in spite of the fact that these nations are deplorable at best. Hillary Clinton said that Trump supporters were deplorable. She didn't say that about all these criminally and medically unvetted people coming over our border right now from other countries. She didn't say that about all these gang members and recently released prisoners that have been intentionally sent to America. Why didn't she say that about them? Why aren't they deplorable? They're coming here with a criminal record. All of them. Every single person, all 21 million, have come to America with a criminal record because the minute they crossed our border, they became criminals because it was illegal to cross our autonomous American border. So understand, our border, our culture, our language, our Judeo-Christian values and principles, our Americanism, our patriotism is key. It's unique to us. It is ours. We must embrace it. We must respect it for what it is. Those things built this nation, and those things have held this nation together. And now you want to simply abolish those things. And you people don't even have a plan. Your plan is change and hope, not hope and change. Obama had it backwards. Because what I see out of the Luciferian left, out of the Democrats, the Marxists, the Socialists, the Communists, and all of you people of that ilk, you just want to crash and burn America as it is and reinvent it as something. You don't even quite know what in many cases. You just know that you want to destroy it, dissolve it, and usher in something new. Think of the audacity when someone has concluded that they want to destroy the most perfect country, the most perfect system known to man, and usher in something new to replace it. And these people have never done anything. They have no accomplishments to speak of, yet they've convinced many of you that they know a better way to move forward as America. That's insanity. And if you want to sign up for that, you're insane. How can you just conveniently ignore the greatness of America and how America came from here to there. And no other country on the planet has been able to duplicate that. You can't understand and respect the uniqueness of America? And America is something that you can't just conveniently replicate because you just, I'm sorry, I misspoke. America isn't something that you can just conveniently reinvent. How? What are your qualifications for reinventing America, leftists, Democrats, socialists, American Marxists, Luciferians? What would make you think that you have the ability to level America, then reimagine and rebuild America? Well, ladies and gentlemen, they want to build this America where any and all things go. They want to build America with open borders, no boundaries externally and internally, no cultural boundaries, no social boundaries, no boundaries at all. Just a chaotic, reimagined society where any and everything goes. And then you know that'll never work. Yet millions and tens of millions of Americans are going along with this when they vote Democrat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, more than anything, shows me how our society is so uneducated. That shows me that the educational system has simply been replaced with an indoctrinational system. Because an educated mind would not subscribe to this reimagining of America. Only an indoctrinated mind, a childlike mind, would say, oh, okay, that sounds good, and that sounds good, and oh, diversity, and let's reimagine, and let's open the border, and let's just allow everybody in, and forget about rules and regulations. And so what if these people are criminally and medically unvetted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Oh, it's all good. It's all good. They've convinced themselves that it is all good. Well, common sense should tell you that nothing is all good. In particular, this dystopian agenda put forward by these Luciferians.
Pushing triple digits on the interstate, and this escape headed back to the city late. No matter how many instances, I still get amazed, thinking about the million different ways I get to give him praise. To penetrate the culture, use the gifts he gave. To disseminate the message like the ticker tape. Just to illustrate his will and grace, I set calm like the syndicated veneration for the saints. To reach a lost generation like Hemingway, and bring them home safe like Willie Mays. Lord, you're the light, I'm in pursuit like Dylan Chase. Move me if I'm in a way, you could take the center stage. I lost a few friends along the way. Some went astray, others stayed in the faith. So I pray for the strength to finish the race. What can I say but say, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Through the blood, sweat and tears, struggles through the years, had fears, but I persevere. It's clear I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Through the blood, sweat and tears, struggles through the years, had fears.